Okay, welcome back, every pony, to the final part of this entire making an audiobook saga. Let's play the intro.
It's the Mystery Pony Fiction Channel. Mystery. Also available as a podcast on Spotify. Pony. And Izzy Moonbow is best pony, by the way. Fiction. Bro, hoof, comment, subscribe. Ring that bell.
Alright, so I was meant to be relaxing for half an hour, but I ended up just working on my YouTube channel still, and I put up a new video that's going to be coming out. It hasn't even loaded the thumbnail yet. Let's see if it will have loaded the thumbnail. But anyway, I'm starting a new series called MPF Classics. And this is where I'm literally going to be re-uploading old videos, but I'm going to be adding commentary and a Suno song, like I do at the end of every story that I audiobook now. And that's just a idea I had because I want to expose all the about more than 1,000 subscribers I've had since I created some of those old audiobooks, and I wanted to give them a second chance at being seen, and add the commentary and the Suno song to them in order to make it worth a rewatch. Either if you never got around to seeing them because they're way back in the very far end of my catalogue, back from 2021. But yeah, anyway, that video is going to be coming out, I'm not sure when I set it to, but will be accessible to members early, of course. But anyway, today is about me finishing off the final stage of getting this audiobook done. I've gone through the reading it on my microphone, and then there's the generating the soundtrack stage, and then there was about 4 hours of editing the audio. See, I'm starting to get tired, but I am glad that this is the point in the process where I'm like, awesome, I'm just about done. There's just a couple of little things left to do. I did stream this part before, but this is, I'm going to consider this my saga of the entire process from beginning to finish to end of one particular audiobook. And then once I've done this, I can consider it, the documentary done for, the entire process of a audiobook from beginning to finish. So now I'm going to load up, if it's even in my recents still. It's probably still not in my recent. Jeez. Okay. Which one is it? I want... Right, I put it in a different category. I put it in covers. No, I didn't. Other. Cover template 2025. Okay. So this is the last audiobook that I made the cover for. It's not out yet, except to members. So now I got to edit this to make it the cover for the Smarty Pants thingy. I've been trying out this new thing where I put animated desktop ponies in covers when it's appropriate. It wasn't appropriate for an Equestria Girls story, especially since I don't know if I can get my hands on any 16-bit versions of the Equestria Girls, but I'm going to see what we can find. So if I go to the desktop ponies folder, now I think I might just maybe have Philly Twilight or something. Let's just write Twilight. I doubt there's going to be a Smarty Pants in here. Can I get larger icons, please? Okay, large icons. So we're going to have Philly Twilight. Twilight Sparkle Philly. A whole separate category. Dancing. I mean, it's a mostly sad fic. So I'm just going to get her standing. Now, there's no way there's a Smarty Pants in here, is there? That would be surprising. Smart. Yeah, there's no Smarty Pants desktop ponies. So, I already made these previously for a couple of other fics. So I've got one here for... See, what I do is I can mute these when I don't want them to be included in the current project. But I'm keeping these here so that I can just copy and paste it onto this one. And unmute it as well, so I can see what it looks like. So now this new Philly Twilight can just replace. Hopefully I won't need. So now I've got a Philly Twilight here. Hopefully it's not doing anything. Okay. I don't think there's really anything else that needs to be relevant. Now, of course, the next stage is to make sure I credit the correct author. Let's go to the Ballad of Smarty Pants and copy the username of Shakespeare Calise, the man, the legend, the world's strongest writer, as we all know. And it doesn't quite fit, so I'm going to have to lower the font size to 58. Still not enough. Let's try 52. That will do. And I'm going to want to find some way to have some sort of reference to his classic profile pic, or something about his profile that represents Shakespeare Calise. I think I'll just go with almost black and white. Let's just go with simple white as the outline. How does that look? Fine. Now, I'm going to need to get the correct title. So, back to the fic. The Ballad of Smarty Pants. Now obviously I had a musical related font which is not going to be appropriate for this story, but let's first try to get it so that I have the first and second line of the title line up approximately. Bring it to a size that will fit nicely. Now I've got to decide on a font for it. So let's go to dafont.com. Now, this is about a plushie, basically. A toy. So I'm thinking maybe felt. It's talking about felt pens, which isn't really appropriate. What would you call it? Fur. Plushies don't have fur though. I'll try plush. Okay. Let's just go with sad maybe for the overall vibe of the story. Now, there's no point looking at whatever looks cool. I've got to keep an eye on the word 100% free. That does not look like it will fit the story. Aha! Kid writing. That seems appropriate. Like literally, there's a notebook that Smarty Pants writes in, so I think this is a very appropriate font that I was lucky to find. That's 100% free. I don't have to credit nobody. So let's get that. Extract it. And install it. I think that will be very fitting. Now, I did say that I think I have to quit Vegas and then go back in before the font actually shows up. But I think I actually did it without doing that once. What was the fit called again? The file. Man, I already closed it. Let's just go to recently downloaded. So it's called Sade Kids. Sade Kids. Sade. Okay, I think I do have to reset this instance of Vegas Pro. And bring back cover template 2025. Now the font should be available under S, Sade Kids, the Ballad of Smarty Pants. Wow, the B's even drawn backwards. Yeah, it looks pretty appropriate. Now, let's get a picture of Smarty Pants. I mean, yeah, there's one in the cover for the fic itself, which is something I'm also going to need to download to use in a moment. Save image as covers. So now that I've got this up, I've got what the color of Smarty Pants is. So let's try to copy that using the eyedropper tool. Text color. Let's try to go for the grey of its coat. And for outline color, the dark grey of its mane. So we got that part done. Now I need to put in that image, cover image that I just got. Now the reason there are so many files here in the these are all cover files or whatever I needed to use in here from my previous computer. So I should probably try to clear this out at some point. This has literally got... I'm surprised some of them are still loading because this stuff is like off my computer now. Anyway, it should be one of the only few that's actually showing up because it still exists anymore. So I'm going to copy the placement of that last one, put it in, delete that one. Now the title does go over the picture a little bit, so that's why I should adjust it a bit. But because it's not the same as the... See, it's going to just cut off there. To fix that, I just need to go to match output aspect. I'm not sure why I didn't have match output aspect on in the first place. But there we go. Now I'm going to have it neatly in the corner here, with plenty of space for the text to both be larger so that it appears more prominently on the thumbnail. The Ballad of Smarty Pants. That's looking cool. Now I need the animated background, which of course I use Wallpaper Engine for. One of my favorite programs of all time. Well, it's what it's what I'm getting this background from, this animated MLP background. But its main use is as a video editing tool. Now we're going to want to go to workshop. What the heck? What was that? We're going to want to go to workshop and I'm going to try writing plush. I wonder if I can get some sort of just the texture of a stuffed toy. I just want the texture of a stuffed toy. Felt. This might be a tough one. What keyword should I use to describe what it is I want? Stuffed toy. Man. Texture. Fabric. Let's try fabric. Fabric. I'm probably going to have to go for something pretty abstract again, because, oh, brown cloth, this could work. And then maybe I could use a color corrector to make it a bit more. Okay, is it animated at all? Or is it just a still image? It's just a still image, that's kind of boring. What is it even on Wallpaper Engine for then? Playback rate. Playback what? That one had kind of given me some hope. There's only 2. Static fabric. Okay, I think I'm going to go with this, but I'm going to have to animate it myself. Okay, now, this is the interesting part. Am I going to be able to continue streaming while also using... I mean, what's going to happen if I press start recording? Window capture. Start recording the window. Maybe I can do this while I'm still streaming at the same time. It says I'm still streaming. So start recording. Now I will usually record it for 2 minutes or maybe 1 minute. I think I'll do it for 2 minutes just in case. So what should I talk about in the meantime? So this is going to be my last stream of doing this process of making an audiobook. Now the next question is, what should I do streams of next? I've got a couple of ideas. I'm thinking of maybe I watch compilate, like Asmongold and all those people that got really famous doing lazy content, to just watch old brony meme videos and comment on them. Or I could play certain games. There's a game that I've been wanting to play live, but I've always just thought it's too boring. That's MMORPG Tycoon 2. And I've always thought about making that and creating because it's a game about making an MMO, and it's kind of as boring as it sounds, but it's also really cool. And I'm not sure how interesting it would be to watch me try to recreate all of Equestria in an MMO. It's kind of hard to explain, but I think that could be an idea for a thing that I stream. The question is, how much will I have to talk about while I'm playing a game? Okay, so that's 2 minutes done. Bit disappointing that there's no animation to that background. So now I'm streaming a black screen. So now I'm going back to the full screen of my desktop. So that worked out. Now the video that I just recorded of that background should be in my general videos folder. And I'm going to drag it in instantly delete the audio track that it created while I was recording that, because I don't need what I was saying while I was recording this. So it's kind of boring that it's a still image, but that's why I'm going to have to take an extra step towards making it look interesting. So obviously this last thing that I used was this interesting animated little thing. So I'm going to have to try to do that myself without Wallpaper Engine, because that was just the way that it came to begin with. Now I'm going to need to shorten every track to the exact same length as what I recorded that to. Now, this is where I'm going to have to apply some effects to make it look more interesting than just a still image. So, I think usually the good go-to is film effects. So, I'm going to go low quality color film. That should give it a little bit of a, yeah. So it's better than nothing. And it looks more grey, which is good to suit with Smarty Pants colour. But there's also another thing I'd like to try, and that's to, there's colour correct. Is a good thing for making something look however I want. There are all kinds of things you can do with this. Let's see, let's play with offset. Make it a bit darker. Can't really do grey. I mean, I think it looks alright as it is. I don't think I need colour corrector. What I like is this auto looks effect. Auto looks allows, just a lot of different. So if I just go to the first one, I can just keep pressing the down key until I see something that looks appropriate. I mean, Crime City already looks good. And then Berlin Hotel, Hug Club, blah, 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 blah. So this is basically a whole bunch of filters that allows whatever you're making to have a certain look to it. So Muffalo 33 looks kind of cool. Golden Field. It's that downtown. It's a shame that the fabric's just not animated in any way. But I can't always get a really cool looking animated background, unfortunately. That might be the best I can hope for. So that one looked okay. The other one that looked interesting was either downtown or Crime City. Let's have a look at Crime City. I think I like Crime City a little better. That will give it that aesthetic. So the last thing I want to do, because it looks a bit dumb having this big white bit around the image, what I also like to do is I like to use the chroma keyer to eyedrop the white and then play with the low and high threshold a little bit. In order to get this effect going. Allow there to be a little blur amount. And there we go. Now there's not a big white border around the image. So now I should be able to go ahead with that as the title card of the Ballad of Smarty Pants. Now, for some reason, I don't know why I do this anymore. I just, for some reason, had some trouble. It's hard to explain. But I always save this cover thingamajig as a interlaced video. I barely remember why. I mean, I've just gotten so set in my ways about the process that I go through to create these. I obviously saved the final video as a 1080p, but I used to, just save this as an interlaced video because of the fact that it tended to have glitches if I tried to save it as a... It's probably just because I was using an older version of Vegas and I just got used to it, but as far as I can tell, it works. There's just probably these certain video editing quirks that I've just kept going with forever. And, there's like no reason for it anymore. It's kind of hard to explain. So what else do you guys think I could live stream about? I'm not going to do this again for a while because I figured once is enough. I've now got it there. This is how you create an audiobook from start to finish. I don't think I'm going to need to show that again for a while, maybe ever. Not until I become so famous that I've got like a whole staff and everything. I'm still doing this all on my own. You guys could help me become rich if you want. Sign up to the... I guess while we wait for that to render, it's time to do my self-advertisement of... Oh, come on. Oh, right. It's up there in a small window. It was already open. It's time to do my self-advertisement of you can become a member of this channel at certain tiers. Sorry, I am starting to get tired, but the good thing is that I'm almost done with this project. You can become a member at 3 different tiers. I've got 2 people that are at the Philly tier here on YouTube. And you get early access, shout outs in the intro video as you saw before. Whereas if you go with the pony tier, I'll make you a reading of your choice. It could be your own fic, pony or not. If it's NSFW or something like that, I will probably have to charge extra to make up for the fact that it can't be added to my YouTube library. And then there's horse tier where you can have up to 3,500 word reading done. However, if you want even more than that, I think that's when we're going to have to start discussing compensation other than just a monthly tier. And you can also, I prefer that you be on my YouTube membership. I've got 2 people that are memberships of my Patreon, and the prices are basically the same here. However, there is less that I can offer as quickly through the Patreon tiers. On YouTube, you'll just automatically get access to everything, whereas I have to actually come to Patreon and manually add the early access to the videos. And you won't even get the videos, you'll just get an audio file of my latest fic or whatever. So yeah, it's up to you which way you'd rather support me. Hopefully there's people that are willing to support me just for the sake of doing it and not necessarily want anything in return. There's been some people in the past that I've supported even though I don't even watch them, just because I believe in what they do in a political way. But I'm not going to talk about politics ever, if possible. Maybe if you guys actually have political questions, I could do that sometime. But yeah. We're just rambling while we wait for that to finish rendering. $99 and 100%. Let's open that. So it's saved over the last one I did. So it's just going to keep replacing the file over and over again so that I only have to keep one file. So when I go to a previous audiobook that I made, it's now automatically going to... So if I go to radio edit, let's save that. What? Okay, that's not what I expected. I would have thought that would have automatically changed. Huh. Weird. What file is it going to then? Cover template 2025. Okay, well, that's not what I expected, but the point is, now I can go to Ballad of Smarty Pants and chuck in this cover template 2025. I'll try to place it away from the rest of the audio. I'm going to lock the video part of it so that I can delete the audio part of it, because if I don't lock it first, then it's just going to delete both the video and audio. Now I'll unlock it so that I can move it again. Now I'm going to want to put in the brand new, because I think this is the very first audiobook I've made in which I use my brand new intro. Where did I put it? Other. My brand new intro that's updated with my updated list of members, and added a bit more fancier editing than my intro for my last computer. So here it is. I'm going to want one copy of it with the audio ready to come out here and be at about the same volume as all the rest of the highest point that I've put any other audio, which is usually halfway between the top. That way, the reason I do this is so that it has a more natural a similar normalized volume between the volume of my voice and the volume of the music, so that it's not too jarring, change in volume, and it will be the same when it goes straight from the ending song to the fic to
never in the dark again.
have it fade out. So it's a pretty similar volume amount. Now this second one, I'm going to want to lock the video, delete the audio, unlock it again, and then move it to the start of my video. I've got this policy where instead of forcing people to hear an annoying intro at the start of every one of my videos, I'll only have them see it so that they can get straight into the audio right away. The Ballad of Smarty Pants by... So they're still seeing my intro with all the information on it, but they're not going to have to hear it until the end of the video when they are free to just turn it off. Now I'm going to need to make another video track because this video part of the song is going to need to go above this, and I stretch this out. And I usually try to have it overlap by about 16, 15, which is about half a second. And let's see how it looks. Is when I first met my best friend. So it fades in nicely. And then to have it end the same way. Actually, I think I've decided that I'll just stop having it fade in and just fade it out itself at the exact same time that the song does, like this.
Dark again, never in the dark again. Never in the dark again.
See, and that fades out and in nice and smoothly. So that should be it, guys. I don't know if there's much else I need to say because I said it while we were waiting for things to render. But there's probably no reason to record this part, but I'm going to get the process started. One thing that I usually do is I make sure that the loop region is all selected. Even though there's nothing, I've already deleted all the bits and pieces that was left after the video. There have been times when I've accidentally left something way over here in the bar for some reason because I forgot to dispose of it after I'd finished the project. And just in case of instances like that is why you should put a loop region at the very start. Zoom in to make sure it really is the very start. Zoom in to make sure it is frame perfect with the very end. And then when you go to save again, always be OCD about saving. Now I'm going to save it as a 1080p 29.27 frame video. And I put a star there to remind me that that is the frequently used thing that I save it to, as well as the 1080i interlaced for when I'm saving the thingamajig. And it is called the Ballad of Smarty Pants MP4, but hold on, I'm going to save the MP3 version first, because then I can start distributing the MP3 version to audio platforms like my podcasts and all that. And it's not a very long wait for the MP3 version, so I might as well do that first. I only have to wait about a minute. This is 44 minutes long. So this is up there with one of my longer audiobook projects. Which is why even saving it just as an MP3 is probably going to take 2 minutes, not 1. So what to talk about in the meantime? That's what it's going to be like if I try to stream games. I mean, one of the reasons why I kind of find it hard to think of things to talk about is I'm a very political person in real life, and I try not to bring any of that into, this channel at all. Like, I literally go out and to protests and stuff. But I know that none of you guys want to hear about any of that because you're here for a break from the issues of the world. But the problem with that is that that's just about all my brain is filled with. It's either, I don't know, video games, political stuff, and I guess at the moment YouTube stuff, except for when I was on my 3-week hiatus and I was kind of dreading thinking about YouTube. Every pony to the dreading thinking about YouTube because the content was starting to become a bit droning to make. And I'm going to enter that stage again eventually. So anyway, I've saved the audio version. That's done. And now I'm going to start saving the video version. So render loop region, just in case I accidentally leave some junk after there. Stretch video to fill output frame. That just makes sure that there's no letterboxes. It will stretch out to fill up the entire screen. That usually doesn't matter, but it's a good idea to have it ticked just in case. I don't know. It's just the way I always do it. So you can see that there's no letterboxing. It's all filled out to the very edge, and this is probably going to take about an hour and a half to render, so I'm sure you guys don't want to sit around and watch that, but I can start doing other stuff on my channel. For example, the video I was talking about that I just put up, MPF Classic. This is one of my earliest readings that I ever did, that I've added a Suno song and some commentary to, but otherwise it is exactly as it was way back then. And I just want to do this to give because what happens is that I will create something that I'm really proud of, and it will get like 12 views, and then 2 years later it will be at like 25 views, and I'm like, well, gee, no one saw my saw my effort that I put into that particular one. And then I'll do a couple of audiobooks where I just like throw something together because I'm a bit sick of YouTube, but I'm trying to keep to my two releases a week schedule, and I kind of start putting less effort in. And then for some reason, due to some sort of algorithm or some keyword that was trending at that time, it gets an insane amount of views. Like, for example, I know that I should be doing more fanfics about humans, you guys, because check this out. Human. Show all, I think. Human in Equestria fanfiction compilation, 3,730 views. Fanfic, A Human's Guide to Surviving Equestria. I am quite proud of this one. It wasn't the worst effort I've ever put in, but it was like only 14 minutes long, and it was like, yeah, average effort. Nearly 10,000 views, 30 comments, 99% likes. It's like, wow, guys. Just something about that really hit. But then one of the videos that I'm most proud of, which is going to be what my next MPF classic is about, it's called Unicorn Cupcakes. Unicorn Cupcakes is one of the most amazing soundscapes I've ever made. And it was a long time ago, 6th of January 2022. And what are the stats on this one? 95 views in about 3 years. So like, that's why I want to start this MPF Classics series. And the other thing that's annoying about that human one is that I made the dumb decision to, check this out, human. I made the dumb decision to get a yellow $sign because I disclosed that there's some swearing in the fic. So even though it is one of the most viewed videos on my channel, it has only earned me $2.23. Whereas if I hadn't disclosed that there's swearing in it, it would probably be, I don't know, like $30 or something. So yeah, I just thought that'd be something I'd kind of give a bit of a rant about. And I guess there's not really anything else that I need to talk about. That's all done. So thanks for joining me, guys. I guess I'll end it here with the outro song. Hold on, I'll put it in the corner.
Mystery Pony Fiction Channel. Mystery. Also available as a podcast on Spotify. Pony. And Izzy Moonbow is best pony, by the way. Fiction. Bro, hoof, comment, subscribe.